All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Quiptic crossword, set this week by Pascal. Came out on Sunday in the UK, Saturday night in the US. Just getting to play it on Monday night. Let's see what we have. Elevated uncertainty reported in thieves' den. Well, the reported makes me think we're going to have a homophone. Maybe something that sounds like a thieves' den. But that means the definition would be elevated uncertainty. What is elevated uncertainty? Is that something like Donald Rumsfeld's known unknowns and the unknown unknowns? Elevated uncertainty. And then, is there another word for a thieves' den? No, no idea. Little known, old boys meeting French priest. Oh, okay. Well, just because I know I've seen before old boy abbreviated to OB, and here we have old boys apostrophe S, so that would be OBS. And I can think of a four-letter word for a French priest. Well, actually, you could have an abbé, I think, but then a curé. And so OBS and CURE, obscure, little known. Let's try these downs. Difficult to hide, old collection. Or is it a word for difficult and it means hide and old collection? Oh, could it even be a triple definition? No, not seeing it. How about author Margaret to become wet maybe? I presume this is an actual author and we're looking for her last name, and it sounds like become wet maybe. I have a name came to me there, Margaret Drabble. I'm not even sure that she is an author. I can just think of dribble, but become wet, drabble? Is there a word, drabble? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So, yeah, I'm not even going to put it in. Let's try kitchen item found in Coventry. Oh, well, this seems like a very obvious hidden word clue. Hidden within Coventry is oven. Yeah, that's not the thing I find about the Quiptic is there's a great variety and difficulty. Some are, pretty obvious like that, I think, whereas others are like this elevated uncertainty. Maybe that is obvious to some of you. Well done if that's the case. All right. There is no seaside fog. This may suggest you can come out now. Yes, so I think so long as a certain phrase occurs to you that says if somebody can come out now, the coast is clear, which might mean that there's no seaside fog. So, yeah, I think that's another easy one. The coast is clear, a lot of good letters there. And here's another one that goes all the way down. Very happy to be looking down on everyone. So I think it's going to be a phrase that means very happy. I think it's going to be a very obvious one. And you may be looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find, you may be on top of the world, as the Carpenters sang. All right, a silly Soho chap, about 51, who can't stop buying stuff. Well, I was going to say spendthrift, but that's 11 letters, I think. Oh, a shopaholic. Yes. So I think it's an anagram of Soho chap, which is 8 letters, plus li for the 51. Shopaholic. There we go. Lad spun around in elevated territory. Obvious anagram of lad spun. Oh, the uplands. Okay. Keeps going and stops when impeded by river. I think it's going to mean keeps going. And we're going to get a word for stops. And we're going to put an R for river probably inside it. Keeps going. Oh, I can't think of a word for keeps going. Oh, it was on the tip of my tongue there. I'm going to pause, sip my coffee, and see if I can get it back on my tongue. Well, I thought of endures, but that means the word for stops would be endues. I don't know if I know that, if that is a word. Let's try this. Tipsy, getting round, I showed the way. Okay, so the definition is tipsy. It's another slang word for drunk. We start with O, which is the round. And if I showed the way, then I led. And we have oiled. And now company, male, blunter, grumbler. Yes, so I think the definition is grumbler. Somebody who's grumbling is a complainer. And it's a charade of company's CO. M is male. And if you're being blunter in your speech, you're being plainer. So far, so good for endures. Female, needs items mislaid. Dental aids. Well, I think this must be flosses. Female is F. And, I think items mislaid are losses. And the needs, I think, is just a joining word to say that the F needs to be followed by losses. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Let me just pause and look up the word endue. No, it's not endue with an R in the middle. It's ends is stops, of course. And the river, I think we've had it before in the crossword, is the Ure, which is in North Yorkshire. I wonder if Midge Ure got his name from that. And his mother was a famous actress, wasn't she? I can't remember, something Ure. Mary? Anyway. All right. Let's go back to ones I skipped. Humiliation in A flat below stairs. Well, a flat below stairs could be a basement, and that A in front of it is important. Put that in front of it and you get a basement, which is another word for humiliation. All right, what's owed girl? Respect ultimately. I think the definition is what is owed. And it's going to be a girl's name in 3 letters followed by the last letter of respect. The girl is Deb, and with the T you get debt. So now difficult to hide Old collection. Oh, I'm thinking hoard. Yes, so difficult is hard, and it hides or includes the O for old. To make a collection could be a hoard. All right. Oh, I can now think of a thieves' den, excuse me, or where thieves may go after a robbery, would be a hideout, which sounds like high or elevated and doubt, uncertainty. So I'm thinking this must be Drabble. Funny, I remembered her name. I don't think I've ever read any of her work. Let me pause and look her up, see who she is or was. Well, I'm happy to report that Margaret Drabble is still with us. She is a biographer, novelist, and short story writer, born in South Yorkshire. Okay. But drabble does mean to make or become wet and soiled by dragging. And then there's draggle, which maybe it's related to draggle. But there's also a drabble as a short work of fiction of precisely 100 words in length. I'm not sure if it was named after. No, it doesn't seem to be related to Margaret. Anyway, so that's enough of that nonsense. So Drabble was right. All right. At least 14 in Cathedral's Evensong. Ah, that's clever. You know, you see something like, well, at least 14. What does that mean? Well, if you have multiples of 7, more than one 7, then you're going to have at least 14 or 21 or 28. And hidden within Cathedral's Evensong, we have 7s. All right. Damage made fence wobbly over time. I was wondering if it might be an anagram of, oh, maybe it is. I was thinking damage might be the anagram indicator, but I'm thinking now damage might be the definition, and wobbly might be the indicator, with made fence is 9 letters, and it's all going to go over T for time. Damage. Defacement. Could that be it? I think so. That would be one form of damage. I'll put it in for now and we'll see. Fellow at lunchtime possibly gets some bread. Well, just because of that ending, a something I think it may be a type of bread in a language or from a language other than English. A fellow is often just F, or it could also be Don, of course, or it could be a man or chap. Oh, chapati. Ah, yes, so it's a chap. And it says at lunchtime, possibly. Well, it's at 1, which may or may not be your lunchtime. It's a little late for my lunchtime, but some of you maybe. All right. Henry VIII's eminence. Well, we had a similar clue not too long ago where we started with height and then we moved the H to the end. So I think that's height. They are highly revered, any one of them being lower. Oh, well, the second word must be, since it's plural, cows, and I seem to remember when I got my first book of cryptic crosswords and how to solve them, they may have mentioned lower being a cryptic way to define a cow. Well, a cow that is highly revered would be a sacred cow. So good to see lower is still being used, just like number is often a number, and flower is often a flower or a river. All right. Commanding officer, which is probably going to be CO. Detaining fool in Italian town. Yeah, I think there is a town. So there's the fool is an ass. In is literally in. And there's the O to finish commanding officer. Wasn't there the famous siege at Casino in World War II? I believe that's right. All right, let's try this down. A cricket club used to be under suspicion. Well, because it begins with A, I'm thinking that's literally the first A in the clue. And then cricket club might simply be CC, as in the MCC. What's that famous cricket club? The MCC. Anyway. But then I'm wondering if used is literally used. To be under suspicion would be accused. It seems very obvious, but funnier things have happened. Let's try this. Bridge in Harrogate, say, given name. Wow. Why Harrogate? And say, given name. No, that's very cryptic. All right, how about children, the item for discussion? All right, I think that's a fairly obvious one. Your children are your issue, as would be the item for discussion. New theater is becoming most crude. Well, 9 letters. Theater is 7. So, yeah, maybe it's just an anagram of theater is. And I think it's going to end in EST. In fact, I think it's going to end in IEST. I'm thinking earthiest. All right. I'm not going to double check it, but that looks right. 2 T's, 1 H, 2 E's. Yep, that checks out. 1 getting on, sort led astray. That's a funny definition. I think we had this word. No, maybe we didn't, but I know I've seen it somewhere recently. Oldster. Something for somebody who is getting on in age, and it's an anagram of sort led. Corrupt activity involving arts graduates. Well, I'm thinking the definition will be corrupt, and we have a word for an activity, which could be a doing, maybe, and or a deed actually might be more to the point. And then inside of it, yes, we're going to put BAs, Bachelors of Art, and so we'll get debased. Well, I went to stop recording and realized I must have paused to cough at some point and or drink my coffee and never restarted. So I'm not sure how much of that you missed. I will record some additional information just in case. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you as always for watching, and have a great day.